Good morning, London! With the double-decker bus in the back. I'm living my dreams. Today, I am going to tour some flats because I recently moved to London with no place to live. Like, am I just really stupid? Yes, but I'm living life on the edge. This is me coping. Me being like, oh, I'm just like so spontaneous. No, it's because you're a dumb bitch. But I wanted to give you a little context for like what we're looking for. So we're looking for 2 bedrooms, 1 or 2 baths, preferably west facing. Southwest is best because I love sunset lighting, and south facing has like the most consistent light throughout the day. North is the worst because you never get any direct sunlight ever. East would be okay if I actually like woke up in the mornings, but we all know that's not gonna happen. I would like to say that being in London will change me, but we all know that's not gonna happen. And then neighborhood wise, like we don't really care where, as long as it's like within a 10-minute walk to a tube station, but within like zone 1 and zone 2. If you don't know what that means, it just means like pretty like close to central London, having restaurants and like cafes and bars and like stuff to do around, like civilization. If I'm gonna be in a big city, I want to like be in the big city, you know what I mean? But our budget range is also, it went from under £2,300 to 2,500 to 2,700, and now it's under 3,000. So we'll take what we can get. I do have to note that we were looking for short-term rentals for 5 months that were fully furnished, so we did have to pay a little extra for that, but in general, rental prices in London are still so insane, like crazier than LA, crazier than New York in my opinion. And just FYI, the rental websites that we used were Zoopla, which we found were more long-term rentals, and then Open Rent we could filter for short-term rentals, and then also Spare Room for like sublets, short-term rentals. Most long-term places rented for 12 months with a 6-month break. Anyway, let's go see the first flat as opposed to apartment. That's crazy. Hello, currently walking to the first showing. Oh my god, I'm so out of breath. This first flat was a 2-bed, 2-bath on a quiet residential street in Islington, which is quite a cute area with lots of cafes, shops, and civilization. In the flat, I loved the kitchen and how white marble modern it was. How predictable of me. There was a little mini backyard moment, but like not a major backyard moment, you know what I mean? The living room was a decent size, but lighting was not great, I will say. It was northwest facing, I believe, but this was on the ground floor and painted dark gray, so it really swallowed up the space. The main bathroom was also a little on the smaller side, like really no room to dance and like vibe, you know what I mean?
My room.
I did really like the bedrooms and the lighting. They were both in okay size, and I loved how gigantic the walk-in closet was in my room and how nicely renovated the ensuite was. Overall though, vibes just did feel a little bit cramped and lighting wasn't great, but a good start. So we just viewed the first property. It was inhabited by an Aussie, a fellow Commonwealther, but the dates don't exactly line up because he's gone for like the next 3 months, but we're obviously looking for something for the next 5 months. Not the best option, but I did really like the big room and the closet. We could have 3 people living in that space.
In Vancouver, that place would be rented out for like $1,000 a month.
The whole place?
No, the closet.
Oh, I think here too. Anyway, it is quite a cute neighborhood, but it's also very like residential. I don't think top of the list for me.
Living in this neighborhood too.
We are going to the direction.
Okay, so we just pulled up to the first viewing and the landlord was late and also forgot the keys. See, I would be like, oh, this guy's so unorganized, but that is some shit that I would do, so I have grace for this man. Anyway, we're just gonna come back later on today. This second flat was a 2-bed, 2-bath in East London in like Tower Hamlets. We're outside the building. This area feels a little bit nicer, more modern vibes. Like this building is a high-rise, which we do like. So when we toured, the cleaners were still in there, but immediately we felt it was way more spacious than the first flat. Everything was super modern and super clean. AC. It's kind of unheard of in London. And it comes furnished, so there'll be like baskets for storage. Small detail, but I love the doors in this space. Anyway, the living room was gorgeous and so spacious. Although I will say I don't love the decor in here, but that can always be changed. I am a professional DIYer after all. The lighting was great, and there was a big floor-to-ceiling window/balcony that was west-facing, which we all know I love. I was too scared to look at the kitchen because the cleaners were in there, but both the rooms were also west facing and had very good sized storage. Huge. Everything within the unit was just really nice.
And there's storage under the bed, but it's heavy.
But the neighborhood was a little sparse, I will say. Super duper residential and not many cafes or shops around. But a plus was that we were super close to a tube station and it had this amazing rooftop that I could definitely see us having parties on in the summer. Thoughts?
The best one that I saw.
Vibes. Vibes. It has like a gym. Apparently the demographic is also like young professionals and everyone's really nice. Apparently. I never trust the one agency because I'm like, y'all can just be saying anything. Because like technically we are young professionals, but are we professional?
I'm unprofessional. If anything, I'm unprofessional.
And are we young?
We still get ID.
Pushing young.
Pushing 30.
The third flat was a 2-bed, 2-bath in Dalston, very central on a very, very busy street, as you can see, with lots of stuff within walking distance. Restaurants, grocery stores, flea markets, ambulances, police cars, you name it.
Labs do be broke.
Sorry. The flat was weirdly like inside of the tube station. We had to like enter the tube station to get to the flat, which was very interesting. I don't know if I like that.
Amazing view.
But the flat itself was super soundproof and we didn't hear any of the street noise or the tube at all. I loved how everything was renovated in here. The kitchen was beautiful and was semi-open concept. The living room was an okay size, but I think the size of the windows made it feel a little smaller and more cramped. And when you look at the window, you can definitely feel that you're on a busy street, so I felt a little bit uneasy about that. Both the rooms were a very decent size and were very nicely decorated, but again, when you look at the windows, it's just like a little bit jarring, you know?
My bathroom? Cool. This is the wardrobe. Definitely not big enough for me. We have this too. There's something about it that I'm not obsessed with. I have to research the area more. It might not be that safe. Hello! We are now on our way to the third viewing. Got myself a little croissant because we didn't have breakfast. I'm literally starving. It's like 1:30 p.m. But the second place was well renovated. I think it was like a little small feeling. So many walls. I think also because the windows, I think when windows aren't floor to ceiling, it really makes the space feel smaller. And I don't even think it was that much smaller of a square footage than the first one, but it just didn't feel as nice. And I did like that it was on a street with a lot of stuff, but it felt a little too busy. That one was more expensive too, but the agents were like, hey, we can try to negotiate for a lower price if you guys really want it. So they'll send us an offer and see what happens. But we are currently at our next viewing. I actually really like this area. It's like pretty central London and there's a lot of like cute cafes and shops and stuff. I love the vibes of like the brick buildings. It's exactly what I'm looking for. It's my personal preference.
This fourth flat was a 2-bed, 1-bath in an amazing location right in the middle of Camden near King's Cross. The area felt very safe and clean, and inside of the flat, oh my god, I was obsessed. The kitchen, like, are you kidding me? It's an open concept kitchen with this granite tiled backsplash, and I just love how clean and sleek everything was. And then look at this living room. Like, what? The decor was just like so cute, so up my alley.
Vibes.
And the owners clearly have an eye for design. It was an older building though, so some of the windows and structural features were a little run down, and the sun had bleached some of the surfaces too because it was west facing, which I do love my west facing windows, but I will be honest, we were touring this flat on a colder day. Oops. And it was already so warm, which was a little concerning because that meant that in the summertime it would be like a literal greenhouse, especially without AC. Moving on to the rooms, my room was a decent size, but you can definitely see the door to the balcony a little run down. And the second room was definitely giving 10-year-old twin boys. So yeah, we definitely would have to push the beds together. There was also only one bathroom and it was a little cramped, so that wasn't ideal, but I felt like the rest of it made up for the bathroom.
We finished at that previous viewing. I love the vibes. It's like so unique. I've never seen a place look like that with the windows, and the architecture of the whole building is really cool. Apparently they shot some pretty big movies in that building. The rent is a little higher. It's like £300 over our budget. So we're gonna see if we can negotiate down. Anyway, I'm heading to the 4th viewing today, which was supposed to be the first one that we saw, but he didn't have the keys. Now it's just me because Ricky has work. So I'll take a little video for him and see how it goes.
Luckily, this time the landlord remembered the keys, so I can actually show you the 5th flat. This was in Bow of East London, and it was a 2-bed, 1-bath. Okay. Yeah, don't need a gym membership. And it was a lot cheaper than the other properties we viewed, which was a plus, but it definitely reflected the state of the flat. And the vibes were interesting, I will say. The landlord was definitely very straightforward about everything being a little run down. He kept being like, sorry, this is broken. Oh, that needs to be cleaned. Oh, this needs to be fixed. He was planning on selling it soon, so I don't think he really cared that much if it rented out or not. I did like how spacious everything was, and there was a lot of the structural pieces that I liked, such as the large living room windows and the layout. But yeah, the space definitely reflected the lower price point. I definitely would need to get my grimy little DIY fingers into this place and clean stuff up and decorate, but I had to weigh whether or not it was worth it for a 5-month stay. The area also felt a little unsafe and kind of sparse, and I think it was a lot of like older people living in this area, so the neighborhood wasn't super appealing.
It's the next day in South London, not like super south, but souther than the river, and I've never been here before, so I'm not really sure what the area is like, but let's see what the unit is like.
The flat was a 2-bed, 1-bath in Elephant and Castle, which is an area right in the middle of the process of gentrification. So the neighborhood was very new and had lots of shops and food places and students and felt pretty safe, but a couple streets down, it was a little less safe. The flat itself was super nice and newly renovated. I could tell by the bathroom that I was really going to like this space. But then we get to the bedroom and there's carpet. Now, I grew up with this exact type of carpet and I usually don't mind it, but knowing London, people probably have lived here wearing shoes inside the house, and I was also wearing shoes inside, lol. Which meant that we probably had to clean the carpet, which I've never done before. The living room / kitchen area though was super spacious and sleek. I loved the large windows, but unfortunately we were a couple floors too low to be able to fully take advantage of the view and lighting. Because this was like a newer luxury building, the building did have a gym and like garden, that kind of thing, and price-wise this was like in the mid-range. Hello guys, I'm back to discuss our options. I think all the options were good options and they like reflected the price, I would say. But the two I think that we are deciding between are the one in East London with like the 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, super modern with the rooftop. I like that a lot because it's really spacious and it's really modern and clean and like has a nice view. I don't particularly like the decor, like the canvases and whatever, but that can be easily fixed. The other point is the price point is £27.45, but not including bills. And bills here are so expensive. They're like £300 for like council tax, for water, electricity, and Wi-Fi. So essentially it'd be like a little over £3,000, which is insane. We are splitting, but that's still insane. And then the other place that we are considering is the really gigantic windows one that's like really centrally located. The price point is £3,000, not including bills, but we were able to negotiate down to 3,100-ish, including bills, which is good, but it is still more expensive than the other place by about £100. Some of the drawbacks are it's like an older build, so some of the windows and stuff, like you can tell, are rusting and like need some cleaning up, but we can definitely do that ourselves. And it is smaller, it's only 1 bathroom instead of 2, but the area is so nice. There's so much stuff in the area. It's like clean and safe. There's a lot of students there, and there's like cafes, restaurants, bars, and like pretty close to transport too. And I love how they decorated the space, and I also love the gigantic windows in the living room. I feel like it's so unique and like I've never seen a build like this before. And also the building, it just like felt cool and like futuristic, like in the hallways. So I feel like the main pulls for that are the location and the unique windows. Although it probably would get really hot in the summertime because there's no AC there, and it's also west facing, which in my head is like the best because I love sunset direct lighting, but in reality it does get really hot because it's all windows. It would get greenhousey, you know, and there's no AC, so we would have to get our own AC, which is another cost. Those are our top 2 options right now, and we have to decide in the next video. In the next video, we will be choosing putting down the deposit and moving in. But you're gonna have to stay tuned, subscribe to see what we choose, because girl, I don't know yet. I don't know where we're gonna live. We're currently squatting at our friend's place that we could keep squatting at, to be honest, but I'm excited that we're here and hoping to explore more of London soon and less of just like running around the city touring flats. And I'm excited to start using my accent for real and to be an Essex girl. Should I shut up? Anyway, let me know what you guys think, what you would choose, and I'm so excited. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!